Hello, I will be doing my Think Aloud over a short story by Langston Hughes. Thank you, ma'am. We actually read this story in my classes not too long ago. Something that we have been working on with our students. It's close to star time, and so we've been working a lot on using context clues for words we may not know, figuring out what we do know, and kind of clinging to that, and bringing prior knowledge and looking at the title and things like that, predicting. So that's a lot of the stuff that we've been working on with our students just in preparation for STAR and reading short stories on the STAR exam as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Thank You, Ma'am by Langston Hughes. She was a large woman with a large purse that had everything in it but hammer and nails. It had a long strap, and she carried it slung around her across her shoulders. It was about 11 o'clock at night, and she was walking alone. Okay, at this point, maybe I'd stop and interrupt myself quickly and say, I wonder why they said she's walking alone. What can we guess is about to happen? When a boy ran up behind her and tried to snatch her purse. The strap broke with a single tug. The boy gave it from behind, but the boy's weight and the weight of the purse combined caused him to lose his balance, so instead of taking off full blast as he'd hoped, the boy fell on his back on the sidewalk, and his legs flew up. The large woman simply turned around and kicked him right square in his blue jean sitter. Then she reached down, picked the boy up by his shirt front, and shook him until his teeth rattled. Okay, so at this point in the story, who do we know, and what can we guess is about to happen based off of what we've read so far? I may also ask if there are any words that anyone doesn't recognize and how we could figure those words out. Sometimes it'll be an open-ended question like that, like, what words don't you know? Or if there's a word I'm more than positive a majority of a class, or some people may not know, I'll ask them, like, what does the word slung mean? Slung across her shoulder, what's that word mean? Continuing. After that, the woman said, pick up my pocketbook, boy, and give it here. She still held him, but she bent down enough to permit him to stoop and pick up her purse. Then she said, now ain't you ashamed of yourself? Firmly gripped by his shirt front, the boy said, yes'm. And the woman said, what did you want to do it for? The boy said, I didn't aim to. She said, you a lie. By that time, 2 or 3 people passed, stopped, turned to look, and some stood watching. If I turn you loose, will you run? Asked the woman. Yes, ma'am, said the boy. Then I won't turn you loose, said the woman. She did not release him. I'm very sorry, lady. I'm sorry, whispered the boy. And your face is dirty. I got a great mind to wash your face for you. Ain't you got nobody home to tell you to wash your face? No, ma'am, said the boy. Then it will get washed this evening, said the large woman, staring up the street, dragging the frightened boy behind her. So far, the story keeps describing her based off of her size, a large woman. What does this make you imagine? Who can you see? What do we imagine that the boy looks like if they keep describing her as a large woman? What are they trying to show us here? He looked as if he were 14 or 15, frail and willow wild, in tennis shoes and blue jeans. So now they've finally given us a description of him. The woman said, you ought to be my son. I would teach you right from wrong. Least I can do right now is wash your face. Are you hungry? Why do we think she asked him if he's hungry? Why would she want to know? Why would she want to know this after somebody just attempted to steal her purse? Can we guess that this boy is in trouble? Is he in trouble, or is she going to do something else potentially with him? No, ma'am, said the bean-dragged boy. I just want you to turn me loose." "Was I bothering you when I turned that corner?" asked the woman. "No, ma'am." "But you put yourself in contact with me," said the woman. "If you think that contact is not going to last a while, you got another thought coming. When I get through with you, sir, you are going to remember Miss Luella Bates Washington Jones." Okay, so based off of the language of how they're talking right now, where can we assume they are from? What area is this neighborhood or the setting of this? What can we picture right now, the setting right now? Sweat popped out on the boy's face, and he began to struggle. Miss Jones stopped, jerked him around in front of her, put a half Nelson about his neck, and continued to drag him up the street. When she got to her door, she dragged the boy inside, down a hall into a large kitchenette, furnished room at the rear of the house. She switched on the light and left the door open. The boy could hear the other roomers laughing and talking in the large house. Some of their doors were open too, so he knew he and the woman were not alone. The woman still had him by the neck in the middle of her room. Who are these other people in the house? Or who can we guess that they are? She said, "What's your name?" "Roger," answered the boy. "Then, Roger, you go to the sink and you wash your face," said the woman. Whereupon she turned him loose at last. Roger looked at the door, looked at the woman, looked at the door, and went to the sink. "Let the water run until it gets warm," she said. "Here's a clean towel." So what is happening right now? Why is she taking this boy that tried to steal her purse into her house and telling him to wash his face? What's going on? "You're going to take me to jail?" asked the boy, bending over the sink. "Not with that face. I would not take you nowhere," said the woman. "Here I am trying to get home to cook me a bite to eat, and you snatch my pocketbook. Maybe you ain't been to supper either. Late as it be. Have you?" So late as it be. Again, where can we guess they are? Maybe what is the time period of this? Okay, what can we assume about this based off the way she's speaking? "There's nobody at my house," said the boy. "Then we'll eat," said the woman. "I believe you're hungry, or been hungry, to try to snatch my pocketbook." "I wanted a pair of blue suede shoes," said the boy. "Well, you didn't have to snatch my pocketbook to get some suede shoes," said Miss Luella Bates Washington Jones. "You could have asked me." "Ma'am?" The water dripping from his face, the boy looked at her. There was a long pause, a very long pause. After he dried his face, and not knowing what else to do, he tried it again. The boy turned around, wondering what's next. The door was open. He could make a dash for it down the hall. He could run. The woman was sitting on a daybed. After a while she said, "I were young once, and I wanted things I could not get." There was another long pause. The boy's mouth opened. Then he frowned, but not knowing he frowned. The woman said, "You thought I was going to say, 'but,' didn't you? You thought I lost my place. You thought I was going to say, 'but I didn't snatch people's pocketbook.' Well, I wasn't going to say that." Pause. Silence. "I've done things too, which I would not tell you, son. Neither tell God if you didn't already know. So you set down a while, I'll fix us something to eat. You might run that comb through your hair so you look presentable." So why is she so worried about how he looks? Why is she bringing him home and having him wash his face and trying to feed him? What's Miss Jones doing to this character? In another corner of the room behind a screen was a gas plate and an icebox. Miss Jones got up and went behind the screen. The woman did not watch the boy to see if he was going to run now, nor did she watch her purse, which she had left behind on her daybed. But the boy took care to sit on the far side of the room where he thought she could easily see him out of the corner of her eye, if she wanted. He did not trust the woman not to trust him, and he did not want to be mistrusted now. So why does this kid not want to be mistrusted now? What can we see about his character? How has it changed? Do you need somebody to go to the store? Asked the boy. Maybe get you some milk or something? Why is he asking to get her milk or go do something for her? How can we guess he feels at this moment? Don't believe I do, said the woman. Unless you just want sweet milk yourself. I was going to make cocoa out of the canned milk I got here. That will be fine, said the boy. She heated some lima beans and ham she had in the icebox, made the cocoa, and set the table. The woman did not ask the boy anything about where he lived or his folks or anything else that would embarrass him. Wonder why. Why would it embarrass him? Instead, as they ate, she told him about her job in a hotel beauty shop that stayed open late, what the work was like, and how all kinds of women came in and out, blondes, redheads, and Spanish. Then she cut him a half of her 10-cent cake. Eat some more, son, she said. When they were finished eating, she got up. Now here, take this $10 and buy yourself some blue suede shoes. And next time do not make the mistake of latching onto my pocketbook, nor nobody else, because shoes come by devilish like that will burn your feet. I gotta get my rest now, but I wish you would behave yourself, son, from here on in. She led him down the hall to the front door and opened it. Good night. Behave yourself, boy, she said, looking out into the street. The boy wanted to say something else other than thank you, ma'am, to Miss Luella Bates Washington Jones, but he couldn't. So as he turned at the barren stoop and looked back at the large woman in the door, he barely managed to say thank you before she shut the door, and he never saw her again. At this point, I would have the students just break into small groups and talk about the story and the two characters in the story, and kind of give character traits of each of the characters. That's something that we've been working on a lot recently, just our characterization skills and writing the theme of the story. So I'd ask them, what they believe the theme or the lesson of this story is, and just kind of have small group discussions about things like that. And that is my Think Aloud. Thank you for watching. And that is, again, is Thank You, Ma'am by Langston Hughes.